Orange County Registered Digital.
Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show, Week 10, the final week of the regular season. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, being joined by Dan Albano and Steve Fryer. Guys, it all comes down to this final week. But before we get into some playoff scenarios, let's start off with our stars of Week 9. And I'm going to go ahead and go with one of the guys behind me, and that's running back Dylan Brown out of Foothill. He had 4 carries for 192 yards and a touchdown. Dan, who do you got?
Well, I'm always trying to give the defensive guys some love. Our defensive player of the week this week, OCVarsity, was Andrew Froner, San Clemente Jr. safety. He made it with about a minute and change left. He helped preserve the victory for the Tritons, which was the Seaview League title clinching victory. He made a tackle on Jacob Breland of Trabuco Hills.
You saw Trabuco Hills.
Yeah.
How about Jimmy Jacobs, 400 yards passing?
Yeah, it was a fun game with he and Sam Darnold just going at it.
Who's your player of the week?
Brian Abel, quarterback at Northwood High School, had a great game. They scored 5 touchdowns, and he had 6 touchdowns. He had a hand in all 6 of them.
All right, it's playoff talk time, guys. Like we said at the top of the show, the final week of the regular season, all kinds of crazy scenarios. Steve, what is the craziest one?
Well, there's a lot of crazy ones out there. You know, there's like coin flips are probably going to happen, may happen in the Sunset League, almost definitely in the Orange League. But check out this bizarre one in the North Hills League. It's a 4-team league. So if Canyon beats El Medina, El Dorado beats Brea Olinda, then there's going to be a 3-way tie for a second. Now, El Dorado goes in this week 0-9. If they win that game, they're 1-9. But because there's no way to separate them out with head-to-head results, which is always the first criteria, could be a 3-way coin flip with El Medina, Brea, and El Dorado. If El Dorado wins that game and all these other things happen, they win that coin flip, El Dorado, as a 1-9 team, would get a guaranteed automatic playoff berth.
Wow, I'm just glad you do those scenarios. My head's already spinning, Dan.
Hey, and how many other leagues around the Orange County, Steve and Jonathan, are thinking, hey, let's go conference. Let's go 4 teams in our league so we can, going to open up some playoff berths. That's pretty amazing. Another good scenario, I think, and you've been on it, Steve, about Saddleback playing Estancia for their league title in the Orange Coast League. I mean, and Saddleback is going for a really rare title, right? I mean, they haven't won a league title in almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's been 27 years actually. And full disclosure, Saddleback High alumnus right here. I'm pretty excited about that. It's a pretty good story because Jerry Whitty, the coach back then in the 80s, and one of his first great players, a guy named Paul Carnegie. And Paul was one of Jerry's right-hand men for a long time with Saddleback. They came back to help coach the football team this year. They're having their best year in a long time. So Coach Whitty, Coach Carnegie, and head coach Rob Thompson, hey, good luck against those Eagles this week.
Last week we talked about the possibility of Servite and Mater Dei both missing the playoffs. Mater Dei looks like they'll get in, but there's a real good chance Servite does not make it. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Servite's definitely in trouble, and I think it –
this was our #1 team, remember?
#1 preseason, a lot of expectations. And you also have to realize they played a brutal schedule. They played a very difficult schedule. But the way it shakes out, I mean, they're going to end their season playing Jay Serra, who's on a total roll right now. Friars going down to Saddleback College again. And the thing is, if they can win this game, they'd be 5-5. They'd be 2-3 in league. And they've been and then most likely it looks like they'll be trying to get a second at-large berth from the Trinity League, and that's their competition. See how things shakes out. It could be against one of the really good Mission League teams like Alamany, for example, which is going to have a few more wins than the Friars. So it's looking like desperate times. But you never know what happens on that, Selection Sunday.
Hey, finally, our game of the week, guys. It's a showdown in the Sunset League. Edison and Los Alamitos, both teams are 4-0 headed into this game. Last year, Los Alamitos defeated Edison 16-10, but the Chargers ended up winning the league championship. Guys, we've seen both teams this year. Steve, I'll ask you first. Who do you like going into this one?
Well, we're talking about the sunset as the sun sets
so
back
beautiful.
there.
I wish they could see it.
It's quite nice.
It's nice over here.
Hey,
at
this is a game I've been waiting on for a few weeks now because Los Al's been riding high. Got a great offense. Edison's playing good defense. Los Al's got a good defense too. Like you say, Jonathan, both 4-0. This is it for the whole big marbles there. I like Los Al in this game, Dan. I just think they're a really complete team. You look how they're doing, a great offensive balance and really good players on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, I think Los Al's impressed me with their balance this year. They have, they have a great round. They can run the ball with Denzel Brantley. Quarterback Talenko's come really far. They have very capable receivers. They got Locker on defense. Edison, you can't overlook the Chargers. They lost. Their 2 losses are to Mater Dei and Servite, so a couple of Trinity League teams. So they're the only, county team, public team that plays both of them. So they're going to be ready for a physical game. But I'm picking the Griffins. But I think, Edison, I have been impressed with Lowry. Has stepped in. They've dealt some injuries at the quarterback position, and the junior Lowry at quarterback has done a nice job for Edison. So it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, he certainly has. And Denzel Brantley for Los Al had 159 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. That is going to be a game Thursday night. Our thanks to Dan Albano. Our thanks to Steve Fryer. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis. And for all your latest football information, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.
Orange County Register. We are here in the service of Orange County.